Let's convert fractions into decimal form by dividing the numerator by the denominator. When we have a fraction a over b, then we kind of interpret that fraction bar as division. We could say a divided by b. Let's look at this example. First, a. When we have 3 divided by 4, we can even set that up into long division as 4 goes into 3. Place your decimal, and we'll have a placeholder 0. Now 4 goes into 30 how many times? If you said 7, you're right. And we'll place that over the 0 for the 30. Now 7 times 4 is 28. We're going to subtract, of course, carry the 1 over. Let's have our 2. Now, another placeholder, and we'll bring that down. 4 goes into 20 5 times. Right? Now 5 times 4 is 20. And now 0 remainder. Now, see where we put our decimal? Of course, that's where the decimal goes in our answer. So 3/4 is 0.75. Let's look at this next one. 7/10. We'll set that up. You could always use a calculator as well, if that's allowed in your class. 7.0. Now, how many times does 10 go into 70? Let's bring our decimal point up. And if you said 7 times, you're correct. Now look, this is easy peasy. 0 is our remainder. So 7/10 is telling you that our answer is 0.7. Now note that 7 is in the 10ths place. So we could have just read this as the decimal form of 7/10, because that is exactly how you would say this, 7/10. So keep in mind those decimal place values. Okay, let's look at 2.5. Now there are a couple ways you can go about this one. We can change this back into an improper fraction. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. Remember, we said to keep that denominator, so we have 5 halves. So you can do that and then set it up as 5 divided by 2. So we'll do a long division. If you have your calculator, go for it. So how many times does 2 go into 5? If you said twice, you're right. So we'll have our 4 here and our subtraction. Now, what do we have? We have 10, right? 2 goes into 10 5 times. Now 5 times 2 is 10. Subtract. And here we are. Let's put our decimal where it goes. It should all line up. So note the decimal inside the dividend is going to line up with the decimal in our quotient. So the answer for 2.5 in decimal form is 2.5. Now, there are certain fractions that are associated with decimals that you'll start to recognize pretty quickly, like 1/2. Remember that 1/2 is 0.5, right? 0.5. Okay? And you'll see that 3/4 is what? 0.75. Okay? So there are some commonly used fraction to decimal conversions that you will start to recognize the more you work on this.